Isn't Evelyn supposed to take over tonight? Why is the ring on Sophia's hand?
That is my ring! You stole it from me!
Evelyn, I never wanted this. But grandfather said Moretti needs its true bloodline.
You knew too?
Eve, stop making a scene. Don Victor made the best decision for the family.
I am your fiancé!
And I am the heir to Caruso!
So you chose her? Evelyn, don't blame Julian. He is only trying to protect both families.
You are wearing my ring, standing in my place, stealing my fiancé, and you want me not to blame him?
Enough! Stop humiliating yourself.
If you are so full of resentment, let me make this painfully clear. Evelyn has been meeting privately with our enemy Blackwood. She is no longer fit to inherit Moretti.
Bullshit! This is a setup!
Evelyn, I gave you a name, status, and chances, and you disappointed me.
Wasn't all of tonight arranged by you? You sent me away, put the ring on Sophia, had Raphael bring the so-called evidence, then made Julian stand beside her.
You are too smart, Evelyn. So smart you forgot that everything you have came from Moretti.
And everything I did for Moretti? 12 alliance agreements, 3 family crises, every neutral representative in the Harbor District. What was all that?
Payment for the debt you owe this family.
So my whole life was just repayment?
Starting tonight, Sophia Moretti will be the new heir of the Moretti family.
Don't worry, Evelyn. From now on, I will protect this family for you.
You can't protect it. Without me, you will learn soon enough. What you put on is not a ring. It is a shackle.
Take her away.
If I could do it all over again, I'd tear this family that devours its own apart with my bare hands.
I only learned at the end that I feared the wrong enemy and trusted the wrong family.
Miss Moretti, the succession ceremony is in 3 days. This is the gown Don Victor prepared for you.
3 days?
Yes. In 3 days, you will receive the Black Rose ring.
God brought me back to 3 days before they betrayed me.
Miss Moretti, Miss Sophia is in the jewelry room. She said she wanted to see the Black Rose ring early. Miss, lead the way. You are going to the jewelry room?
I want to see whether her hand deserves to wear what belongs to me.
Miss, you look pale. Should you rest first?
No.
Miss Sophia only wanted to look at the ring. Maybe she did not mean anything by it.
Mara, if someone tried on the crown meant for you, would you call that curiosity? Are you saying Miss Sophia is trying to steal the succession? Not once.
She has already started. But Don Victor has always said you are the heir.
What he says is not the same as what he will do.
Miss, do you know something?
Miss Sophia looks so much like a real Moretti princess with the Black Rose ring on. But isn't Miss Evelyn supposed to be the heir tonight? Who knows? Blood is blood. It is different. No rush.
Miss?
Let them talk.
The more they talk now, the quiet they will be later.
Miss Sophia looks beautiful wearing it. Of course she does. She is the real Moretti bloodline.
Evelyn?
Why hide it?
I just wanted to look at it early. You are not mad, are you?
No. It suits you.
Really?
Yeah. It is just a little tight. Things that are not yours start to hurt when you wear them too long.
Evelyn, did you misunderstand me? I never wanted to compete with you.
Really? I just thought grandfather has been under so much pressure. If I can help carry some of it for you, that would help.
Carry it? Do you know what this ring represents?
The Moretti succession.
It also represents 12 harbor agreements, 37 neutral allies, and 7 elder council votes.
Do you know who is responsible for each agreement?
Do you know why the Harbor District nearly withdrew from the alliance last month? Evelyn, I just have not had time to learn yet.
So you know nothing.
Why are you humiliating me like this? I only wanted to help.
Sophia, before you help me,
Learn how to take the ring off. Miss Sophia, this is the succession ring. It cannot be tried on without permission.
What if I accidentally cannot take it off?
Then we will call a craftsman. But craftsmen can be rough. If your hand gets hurt, grandfather would be heartbroken.
I was only joking.
What do you think?
I know I was not raised as the heir, but I am still a Moretti daughter. You cannot treat me like an enemy just because I came home.
Whether you came home or not does not matter. What matters is that you keep your hands off what is mine. First time, I will call it ignorance. If there is a next time, I will teach you exactly what rules mean.
Miss, you were so calm just now. Before, you would have covered for Miss Sophia.
Before, I thought she was weak. And now, she is just used to making other people be strong for her.
Eve!
What did you do to Sophia?
Mr. Caruso, Miss Sophia tried on the succession ring without permission.
She was just curious. Eve, you did not have to be so aggressive.
She tried on my ring, and you call that curiosity?
She just came home. She is unfamiliar with everything.
Is she unfamiliar with you too?
Evelyn, don't misunderstand. I just happened to run into Julian.
Did I say you two were unfamiliar? Perfect timing.
What?
At the succession ceremony in 3 days, I will propose that Sophia take the family trial.
The family trial?
Eve, are you crazy? Sophia's fragile. How could she handle that kind of event?
Didn't she say she wanted to help carry my burden? Then let everyone see how much she can carry.
Evelyn, that is not what I meant.
Then what did you mean?
Eve, this will upset Don Victor.
Then go tell him. And tell him I took back the black rosy ring.
Eve, what has gotten into you lately?
I woke up.
Julian, what do we do? If I really take the trial, I will be exposed.
Don't panic. She changed too fast. We need to move earlier.
Miss, I got it recorded. Good. Let them panic. People make mistakes when they panic.
Miss Moretti, Mr. Caruso is here.
Let him in.
Eve, I was harsh this morning. I am sorry. Sophia just came home. She does not understand the rules yet. You do not have to hold it against her.
She does not understand. Do you?
Of course I am on your side.
On my side, so you question me for her?
I just do not want this to get ugly. The succession ceremony is in 3 days. Don Didot hates family discord.
Are you afraid of family discord or afraid Sophia cannot pass the trial?
Eve, you have been too tense lately. The heir position is yours. No one can take it from you.
Is that so?
Of course. You never used to avoid me.
People change.
Because of Adrian Blackwood?
Why bring him up?
I heard he has been in St. Aurelia lately.
This city does not belong to Caruso. Is it strange that he is here?
He is Blackwood. Eve, stay away from him.
In what capacity are you ordering me?
I am your fiancé.
Then do what a fiancé should do.
Like what?
Support the family trial at the succession ceremony.
You are still insisting on that?
Of course.
Sophia will be humiliated.
The heir's C-seat is even harder to hold.
She is not the heir!
Then why are you so nervous? Julian, did you come today to apologize for yourself or to scout for Sophia?
You are misunderstanding me.
I hope so. Mara, see him out.
Eve, does it have to be like this between us?
You chose the wrong side first.
I will come see you later.
Miss, he was testing you.
He is scared I am done obeying.
How did it go? Did she agree to cancel the trial?
No.
Then what do we do? I cannot understand those ledgeries or agreements at all.
I will prepare the answers for you.
What if she changes the questions at the last minute?
She never used to be this ruthless.
But she has changed today. The way she looked at me was like she knew everything.
Of course she should not know.
Uncle Raphael.
Don Victor is already unhappy. The succession ceremony must proceed as planned.
She insists on the trial.
Then make her unqualified to host it.
What do you mean?
Didn't we already prepare evidence that she collude with Blackwood?
That was supposed to be used in the second half of the ceremony.
Move it up.
Now.
No. Make her walk into the trap herself.
You mean the old church?
Yes. Get her to meet Adrian Blackwood privately. Once the photos come out, she will have no right to judge anyone.
Will she go?
She will. I know her. Tell her Blackwood has dirt on Moretti, and she will go.
Remember, the photos need to look like a deal.
What about me?
You keep acting like you know nothing. Miss Moretti, what you asked for?
If there really is a trial, I will be exposed.
Get her to meet Adrian Blackwood privately.
They plan to frame you with Blackwood. Just like in my last life. What? Nothing.
Miss, should we tell Don Victor first?
Tell him? Do you think Raphael would dare do this without his permission?
Then what do we do? They want photos. Let them take photos. You still want to go to the old church?
Of course.
What is this? A draft cease-for memorandum for the three families. You want to sign this with Blackwood? Not sign it.
I want everyone to see that Adrian and I are not sneaking around. We are creating a notified record.
But Adrian Blackwood may not cooperate.
He will.
Because he wants the truth more than anyone in Moretti does.
So you finally decided to come to me?
I am not coming to you. I am giving you a front row seat to watch Moretti crash and burn.
Miss, are you really going tonight?
Yes. If they dug me a grave, I should at least inspect the workmanship.
9 o'clock. I will be there.
Good.
Miss, all 4 hidden camera spots are confirmed.
Do not remove them. Let them film.
Summing me to an old church at night. Morello hospitality is charming.
Are you scared?
Scared you will regret this. The 3 family ceasefire, Mom and Dad?
At tomorrow's succession ceremony, someone will use tonight's photos to accuse me of colluding with Blackhole.
So you came on purpose.
They want photos. I will give them photos. I need complete evidence, and you will witness it.
What makes you so sure I will help you?
Because you do not want Moretti and Caruso to unite, swallowing the neutral district together.
And? Because in my past life...
No, because you are not stupid.
Past life?
You misheard.
Boss, the terms are real. Public witnessy does Blackwood no harm.
You want me at the Moretti succession ceremony tomorrow night?
Not attending. Making an entrance.
Evelyn, what exactly are you trying to do?
Take back what is mine. They are gone. Save the full surveillance feed. Already backed up 3 copies.
You even hid this from your own people?
Didn't you bring Noah?
I am just an innocent witness.
I will be there tomorrow night.
On time.
You trust me that much?
I trust shared interests.
Evelyn! If Moretti really tries to destroy you tomorrow, will you still stay there?
No.
I will make sure they go down. Before I do.
Where did you go last night?
Handling matters for the succession ceremony.
What matter needs handling in the middle of the night?
Something that keeps Moriarty from embarrassing itself. Evelyn, I heard you went out last night. I was so worried.
Worried about me or worried I did not get hurt?
Evelyn, how could you think that of me?
Eve, Sophia meant well.
Then why are you nervous for her?
Enough. Tomorrow night's succession ceremony does not need family and fighting.
That is why I prepared a family trial.
A succession trial? It has not been used in years.
Exactly. If it has not been used in years, everyone should see what makes an heir worthy of the seat. Evelyn, I never said I wanted to fight you for it.
Then consider it education.
Sophia is weak. A public trial is unsuitable.
The succession isn't meant for the weak either.
Evelyn, must you do this?
Grandfather, you taught me Moroli does not raise dead weight.
I am your fiancé. A trial is fine, but do not go too far.
Who are you to set the rules?
I am your fiancé.
Then sit in the fiancé seat and stop speaking for someone else.
If Evelyn insists I take it, I will.
Good. Round 1, accounts. Round 2, negotiation. Round 3, crisis decisions.
3 rounds?
Scared?
No.
The trial may proceed, but tomorrow night the Elder Council will supervise it together.
That is exactly what I want.
Where are you going?
Preparing tomorrow night's gift.
Don't be scared. I will give you the answers. I organized the accounting questions. Memorize these pages.
This much? How am I supposed to memorize all of this?
You only need to survive round 1. Once the photos of Aloosing with Blackhood come out, the trial will stop.
What if the photos are not enough?
The photos are only the trigger. Raphael will push the Elder Council to attack her.
The way Evelyn looked at me today was terrifying. Does she know?
Even if she knows, it does not matter. The succession ceremony is in Moretti Hall. She cannot turn the place upside down.
I will stand by you tomorrow night.
What about your engagement to her? You still cannot let her go?
Evelyn is useful.
I am the Moretti bloodline!
That is why you cannot lose.
Remember, when the photos come out, you cry. Say you cannot believe your sister betrayed the family, but you are willing to take responsibility for her.
And then grandfather announces I inherit?
Yes.
After that, I will propose preserving the Caruso-Moretti engagement.
With me as the bride?
It is the best choice for both families.
And Evelyn?
Thrown out of the main hall, forever unqualified to touch the black rose ring.
So the engagement switches to Sophia?
Miss, they have even planned the engagement.
That is exactly what they did in my last life.
What?
Nothing.
Should we expose them early tomorrow?
No.
Why?
Expose them now, and it is a private scandal. Expose them tomorrow night, and it becomes a public trial.
Everything is backed up.
Did you swap the trial ledgers?
Yes. They prepared answers for the old accounts.
Good.
Sophia will be exposed in round 1.
That is not what I want.
Then what do you want?
I want everyone to see that Morelli tried to replace me with an empty shell. After tomorrow night, they will know the black rose is not something anyone can survive wearing. Want to try it on again?
I was just looking.
You can look. You cannot touch.
Evelyn, was it your decision to have Mara keep the ring? You do not trust the family?
Yes,
You do not trust the Maj?
I trust the rules,
The ring belongs to Moretti, not to you personally.
which is why people who do not understand rules must not touch it.
I know you still blame me.
You are overthinking it.
Then why force me to take the trial?
Because everyone wants to know how real this true bloodline really is.
Evelyn, enough.
Grandfather, don't you also want Sophia to win people over?
Eve, don't turn family into a courtroom.
Family. Are you and Sophia close?
She is your sister.
Do you remember I am your fiancé?
Sir, Blackwood has sent a reply.
Blackwood? When did you contact Blackwood?
Last night.
Adrian Blackwood, the Blackwood heir, will attend tomorrow night's ceremony as a neutral witness.
Ridiculous! Why should Black witness Moretti's succession ceremony?
Because tomorrow night we will sign the 3-family ceasefire addendum.
You made that decision on your own?
I negotiated for Morecki for 3 months. The agreement expires tonight.
Haven't you always said I should serve the family?
Fine. Let him come.
Don't be nervous. Tomorrow night is going to be fun.
Is Evelyn still the heir? I heard there is a family trial tonight.
Blackwood really came. Adrian, I did not expect you to come.
I was invited to witness.
Witness Moretti's succession ceremony?
Witness the truth.
Tonight, Moretti will choose its new heir.
He said new heir, not you.
I heard him.
By family tradition, the heir must pass the trial.
Round 1. Family account identification.
The Harbor District's third quarter loss was caused by delayed shipping routes.
That is last year's account.
Continue.
And the Northern Alliance revenue should be recorded under...
Wrong too. The Northern Alliance dissolved last year.
I was just nervous.
Sophia only just came home. It is normal that she is unfamiliar with these things.
An heir being unfamiliar with the family accounts is normal too? Page 3, 2 deficits were splitted into 4 smaller transfers. Page 7, Harbor Alliance revenue was recorded under Sophia's name, but I signed the negotiation. Page 11, Carusa's prepayment was moved up abnormally.
That is correct.
So Evelyn handled all of this.
Accounting skill does not prove loyalty!
Evelyn, are you this familiar with Moretti resources because you want to protect the family or because you want to hand them to Black Hill? Eve, why did you meet Adrian privately last night?
Evelyn, do you really have a deal with Blackwood?
She really met Blackwood.
No wonder Blackwood is here tonight.
Evelyn, explain.
Eve, admit your mistake now. There is still time.
Admit what?
Admit you got confused. Admit you never should have contacted Adrian privately. My name sounds disgusting coming out of your mouth.
Evelyn, the family is giving you one last chance.
Save that line for yourself.
The evidence is right here. Are you still going to deny it?
A few photos can convict me?
Evelyn, if not, why won't you say what you two did last night?
I will. Not yet.
Since you are all so eager to judge me, I have a few questions too. Who took the photos?
How would I know?
You do not know, but you were first to tell me to confess? When did the Elder Council receive the photos?
Before tonight's ceremony.
Who gave them to you?
Anonymous.
A morosic succession trial based on anonymous evidence?
Evelyn, this is not the time to chase details. What matters is whether you and Blackwood made a deal. You are in a hurry.
I am only worried about the family.
Worried I will clear my name, or worried you wore the ring for nothing?
I did not...
Eve, stop targeting her.
There you go, protecting her again.
Last night, I did meet Adrian Blackwood.
You admit it!
I met him for the 3-family ceasefire memorandum.
Who can prove that? I can. So can I.
Blackwood, people testifying has no credibility.
Then watch the full video.
Evelyn, think carefully. Once this plays, Moretti's reputation will suffer too.
You are not afraid Moretti will suffer. You are afraid everyone will see that the real embarrassment is not me. Mara, put it on the main screen. At tomorrow night's succession ceremonies to accuse me of colluding with Blackwood.
So you came on purpose?
They want photos. I will give them photos. I want complete evidence, and you will witness it.
Boss, the terms are real. Public witnessing does Blackwood no harm.
I will be there tomorrow night.
So this is your so-called collusion.
This only proves you prepared your story in advance.
There is more.
Shoot closer. Make it look like a transaction. Mr. Julian said tomorrow night this will be used to convict her.
Julian, care to explain?
I do not know who that man is.
Then how about this?
The photos are only the trigger. Once Raphael attacks, Evelyn will be unqualified to judge anyone.
Then grandfather announces I inherit?
Yes.
Is this real? Recordings can be faked!
Blackwood can run a voice print comparison right now.
The equipment is already here.
No rush. We have plenty of evidence tonight. This is the Carulli-Morelli secret transfer of rights agreement. After Sophia takes over, Julian will obtain 3 Moretti decision-making powers through the engagement.
Eve, let me explain.
Explain how you could be my fiancé while preparing to switch the engagement over to my sister?
Evelyn, it is not like that. I was forced.
Weren't you the one who just asked whether grandfather would announce you as heir?
Enough! This family scandal ends here.
Ends here?
Eve, what are you doing?
Julian Caruso. The engagement is over.
Evelyn?
I do not want this position.
Do you even know what you are saying?
Of course I do. The minority inheritance is no longer worth fighting for.
If you dare walk out of this hall, you are no longer Moretti.
Perfect. I do not want to be one anymore.
Touch her, and Blackwood goes to war.
Congratulations. You finally got the mess you wanted.
Miss, are you really not going back? That place is not mine anymore.
Eve! Everything was chaotic just now. I can explain.
Explain how you transferred my engagement to Sophia.
That agreement was not final.
So you admit the agreement exists.
Evelyn, don't leave! If you leave, Grandfather will be furious.
What does his anger have to do with me?
But Morelli raised you!
To make me pay your debts?
Eve, if you leave Morelli now, no family will take you in. Blackwood will. This is Morelli and Karuba family business. She is no longer Moretti. Shall we go?
I do not need protection.
I know. Noah. Just a ride out of the wolves' hood.
Miss, there are still Moretti's people outside.
Get in.
Eve, you will regret this!
My biggest regret is ever trusting you.
She really left?
She will come back. Without Morelli, she is nothing. Where to now?
As far from Morelli as possible.
I have a neutral residence.
I told you I will not attach myself to Blackville.
Staying temporarily is not attachment.
One night.
As you wish.
Boss, Morello cars are following us.
Lose them.
Leaving is only the first step. What they owe me, I will take back piece by piece.
The guards were too rough. Write it down. Write what? Evidence that Marachi laid hands on me.
These are copies of the neutral agreements you negotiated for Moretti over the past 5 years.
You investigated me?
I found you while investigating Moretti. To be precise, Boss has been investigating you for years. I will shut up.
Even I could not get these copies.
Because Moretti replaced your signatures with Sophia's or Raphael's.
They even did that?
I am not surprised.
You are not surprised, but that does not mean you let it go.
Why help me?
Tonight you humiliated both Moretti and Caruso. That benefits Blackwood.
Just benefits?
Were you hoping for something else?
In my past life, why did you come?
What past life?
Forget it, I misspoke.
You misspoke more than once tonight.
Miss, Morelli has issued a public statement saying you lost control emotionally and voluntarily gave up the inheritance.
Only that?
They also say you were manipulated by Blackwood and temporarily left home.
They want to paint me as a rebellious adopted daughter.
How will you respond?
I will not.
You will not?
Responding now only lets them drag me into a family squabble. First, I take back what is mine.
You want to build an independent faction?
Yes.
Starting from zero is hard.
I am not starting from zero. These are my bargaining charms.
Need a place?
I will pay rent.
There is an old clubhouse by the harbor. Neutral title.
Terms?
We will discuss them later.
I do not owe favors.
Then call it cooperation.
Cooperation works.
Welcome to life after Murad.
After last night, the neutral representatives are watching.
Evelyn walking out in public has hit the family hard.
One adopted daughter leaving will not bring Morani down.
But she holds many original agreement records.
Grandfather, I can handle it.
What did you say?
I am the new heir. I can take over Evelyn's work.
You cannot even read the harbor ledger.
Sophia can learn. Caruso will also help Moretti stabilize the situation.
Is Kurogo here to help or to get its hooks into Marathi? You still owe me an explanation for that secret transfer agreement last night.
It was only a draft.
Who gave you the nerve to touch Marathi's decision-making power without my permission?
I pushed too far.
Grandfather, Julian did it for me!
Shut up! The priority now is to suppress Evelyn. Keep emphasizing publicly that she is ungrateful and being used by Blackwood. Issue a statement, cancel all of her internal Morelli access.
What about the neutral project she managed?
Let Sophia take over.
I can do it.
You had better.
Sir, this came from housekeeper Lena.
What is it?
Evelyn demands the return of her personal belongings and copies of every document she signed.
She wants to set up on her own.
She does not have that right.
Tell her she takes nothing that belongs to Morati.
Miss, this place, can it really work? It can.
The plumbing and wiring are ancient. Repairs will not be cheap.
Put it on the books.
On my account?
As cooperation costs. Miss, Morelli replied, they refuse to return your files.
Expected. Then what do we do?
Find Elena.
My mother is still in the Moretti Manor. Won't that be dangerous?
That is why she cannot help openly.
From today on, this place is Black Rose House.
Black Rose?
They think the Black Rose to Moretti. I'll show them, contact them. I decide where the Black Rose blooms.
An opening needs guests.
People will come.
Under what name?
People Moretti has left Moretti, but the promises she signed still.
Miss, my mother is here.
Mom, why did you come yourself?
Some things cannot be delivered by anyone else.
Elena, Don Victor will suspect you for this.
Miss, I have worked in the Moriti Manor for more than 20 years. I know how not to get caught.
Are these all the original records of Miss Evelyn's past agreements?
Everything I could bring is here.
Where did this photo come from? I found it in the Manor's old archives. Did I go to this hospital as a child?
St. Maria Old Hospital.
St. Maria Old Hospital.
You know it?
A neutral hospital that closed 20 years ago. Most of its records were destroyed afterward.
Why do I not remember it?
Miss, you were very young when you were brought back to Moretti.
Brought back? Not adopted?
I only heard people in the manor say that.
Elena, what do you know?
Miss, without evidence, I cannot speak carelessly. But this letter may give you answers.
Who wrote this?
I do not know. It has been hidden in the manor's old archives.
I can arrange a car.
We go tonight. Tonight? The more Moretti does not want me to know, the more I need to know.
Miss, be careful of Don Victor.
You are afraid he will learn I'm investigating the old hospital? Then that means there really is something. The archive room is on basement level 2.
This place has been abandoned for 20 years. Could there still be records? If someone wants to hide something, ruins are perfect.
This place has been searched. Find birth records and any files tied to Vale or Moretti. Here.
Evelyn? Vale?
Father Thomas Vale. Mother Isabella Vale.
My last name is not Moretti. Miss...
The Vale family.
You know them?
A neutral medical family that vanished 20 years ago. The files say fire and debt collapse. That was the public story.
What is the real reason?
It may involve the 3 families.
What does it say?
Do not trust Victor Morelli.
Someone is coming. Morelli's people?
Were we followed?
Take the files. Use the back door.
Someone is in the archive room!
Come with me.
Evelyn Vale. Is that my real...
3 men, armed.
Get in.
Miss! I'm fine.
Morelli trained you well.
They trained me to survive.
The birth certificate is real, and the paper age checks out. There's a hidden compartment in the pendant, but we'll need tools to open it.
No family markings on the men who followed us.
The less they carry, the more likely someone close sent them.
Don Victor.
But why would he hide who you really are?
The Vale family used to be part of the neutral witness system. They held a lot of family secrets.
So I wasn't some adopted orphan.
I was someone whose name was taken from her. Miss, do we go public?
Not yet.
With only a birth certificate, Don Victor can call it forged.
Then we find someone who can prove it.
Before St. Mary's old hospital shut down, there was a priest who also served as the archivist, Father Benedict. He's still alive, but he lives in seclusion at a seaside monastery.
We see him tomorrow.
I'm going with you.
You're that bored?
I'm interested in Moretti's secrets.
Just the secrets?
And you.
Adrian, don't cross the line.
Draw the line. I'll respect it.
Mara, put out a statement. Saying what?
In 3 days, I'll answer every Moretti accusation before the neutral council.
Including your birth?
Including everything they...
She went to St. Mary's Old Hospital?
Yes. Our people couldn't stop her.
What's St. Mary's Old Hospital?
Did she find something?
She wasn't supposed to.
Grandpa, who is Evelyn really?
Who she is doesn't matter. What matters is that she is now Morettiti's enemy.
She announced she'll answer the accusations before the neutral council in 3 days.
We can't let her take control of the narrative.
Arrange a witness. Someone from the old hospital? Find someone who can say she was an abandoned baby.
Clara Bell. She worked around the hospital back then as a nurse.
She wasn't an official archivist. The public won't know that.
What if she really has another identity?
Sophia! All you need to remember is this. You are Moretti blood.
Yes.
I'll contact Clara.
And keep pushing the message. Evelyn is ungrateful and being used by Blackwood. Understood.
Then our engagement...
After she has lost all credibility.
Moretti released another statement. They say Blackwood is controlling you and that you're mentally unstable.
Is that all they know how to say?
Also, former nurse Clara Bell will appear before the neutral council to prove you were found outside the hospital as an abandoned baby.
You know her?
She was only an outside nurse. She never had access to the archives.
So she's a false witness.
Good. Good? They're putting their fake witness on stage for me. Saves me the trouble of finding her.
Miss, Don Victor won't have prepared only one person.
I know. Is the pendant open? Not yet. The mechanism is complicated.
I once heard the old butler say that personal tokens from the Vale family was usually more than ornaments.
There may be a key inside.
A key?
The old hospital was only the entrance. The real thing wouldn't be kept there.
Adrian sent an address. Father Benedict is at the seaside monastery.
Ready the car.
Miss. If the priest still remembers you, he may tell you more. But please remember, not every truth is gentle.
I don't need gentle. I need the truth.
I thought this pendant would never appear again.
You recognize it?
The token of the Vale family's primary heir.
So I really am Evelyn Vale?
Yes. You were born at St. Mary's Old Hospital. Your mother's name was Isabella Vale.
Moresti said I was abandoned.
You were not abandoned. You were hidden.
Hidden by whom?
Your mother.
Why?
Because the Vale family found a dangerous ledger.
What ledger?
The Ash Ledger. It recorded agreements among the 3 major families from the early years, things that could never be made public.
So the rumor was true.
Isabella split the ledger into 3 parts. The first concerns identity, the second concerns the agreements, and the third concerns the final witness.
Where are they?
Your mother didn't tell me everything. But Isabella said if one day you returned with the pendant, I was to tell you to open the Vale Court at Central Bank.
There really is a key in the pendant?
Evelyn, never trust anyone who uses gratitude as a cage.
My mother said that?
Yes.
Someone's here.
Moretti cars.
You have to go.
Father, will you testify at the Neutral Council in 3 days?
I'll submit written testimony. Appearing in person is not yet the time.
Why?
Because they don't know you found the key.
Move.
In 3 days, I'll make sure that...
Evelyn Moretti, you requested to answer Moretta's accusations publicly. You may begin.
Before she speaks, we have a witness.
I worked at St. Mary's Old Hospital back then. Evelyn was a child abandoned outside the hospital and Moretti took her in.
Evelyn, the family raised you for so many years. How can you repay Grandpa like this?
Evelyn, admit Blackhood misled you and the family can still let you leave with dignity.
Are you done? You said you worked at St. Mary's Old Hospital?
Yes.
Which department?
Nursing.
Could you access the underground archives?
Of course I...
St. Mary's Old Hospital access records. Clara Bell was only a temporary outside nurse with no archive access and no newborn registry access. Then how exactly are you proving my identity?
I heard it from someone.
From whom?
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're the one who found her.
Even if the witness has flaws, that doesn't prove you weren't abandoned.
Of course.
That's why I brought real evidence.
That's impossible!
And Father Benedict's written testimony plus the hospital's original serial number.
These materials need verification.
Please, verify them. Grandpa, you don't look surprised at all.
I'm simply surprised you would attack the family with forged documents.
Whether they're forged or not, Central Bank will answer in 3 days. The Vale family vault recognizes only blood and the original key.
The Vale family does indeed hold a vault at this bank. Opening it requires the original key, bloodline verification, and 2 neutral witnesses.
The Hale family is willing to serve as a neutral witness.
Blackwood is present as well.
Wait!
What are you doing here?
Stopping you from using a fake identity to fool everyone.
Maradi believes the Vale materials Emmeline's entatted are of unknown origin and requests that the vault opening be suspended. This bank follows only the original rules.
Then I request verification too. You? If you claim you're Vale, I have the right to prove the system is unreliable.
Miss Moretti, do you know where the name Vale comes from?
Of course I do.
Then tell us.
Enough! Verify it.
The key holder will complete bloodline verification first.
Verified. Evelyn Vale, primary heiress.
Read it again.
Evelyn Vale, primary heiresses.
The system could be wrong!
No Veil bloodline detected.
The title of imposter heiress seems to fit you better.
Shut up!
This result does not represent Moretti's position.
Today was never about proving Moretti's position.
It was about proving my name.
Miss.
We have to tell Don Victor immediately. She found the first part.
Don't rush. Today only proves you aren't Vale. Whether you deserve to be Morelsi will settle later. The paper, handwriting, and seal all need time to verify, but preliminarily it looks real.
Central Bank's blood certification is enough for the neutral counsel to reassess your identity.
Not enough.
You want to go straight at Don Victor?
I want a chain of evidence, not an emotional swing.
The letter part of the Ash Ledger is in the catalog.
The catalog is damaged. Only a few keywords remain.
Central Witness Authority was the Vale family's core power. Whoever holds it can re-enter the neutral council seat.
So Don Victor has kept me from knowing who I am all this time.
Because you're not an orphan. You're the key.
How long to repair the chip? Tomorrow at the earliest.
Assuming it wasn't deliberately damaged.
My mother hid the key in the pendant and the letter in the bank. She must have left another move.
Hale can help push your identity review.
Your condition?
Public cooperation. Hale doesn't want to be dragged into a private war between Moretti and Blackwood.
I don't want to become anyone's attachment.
Including Blackwood?
Especially Blackwood.
I heard that. I'm only a guest.
New update. Moretti is telling the public that Central Bank's verification was an old system error, and they're demanding a second review. And Sophia's failed impersonation? They buried it. Then help them release it. Now? Now.
Anonymous?
Of course. Black Rose House has manners. Starting tomorrow, Moretti will panic.
And you?
I wait for them to make a mistake.
Everyone outside is saying Sophia failed to impersonate the Veil Steered.
I didn't impersonate anyone. I was proving the system was unreliable.
No one will listen to explanations.
Who leaked it?
Who else? Evelyn wants to force us to admit she's Veil.
Grandpa, she can't become Vale. If she has her own family, Morelli won't be able to control her anymore.
Which is why she cannot get the complete ledger.
The Ash Ledger really exists?
You ask too many questions.
Caruso is already involved. I have the right to know the risk.
The risk is that once the ledger is public, Moretti and Caruso both go down with it.
Then what do we do?
Has the first part. We must get the second before she does.
Where is it?
Obsidian auction. The Veil silver casket will appear as lot 47.
The ledger is in the silver casket?
It may be.
I'll bid.
At any cost.
I'm going to.
What for?
Evelyn will be there. I want to see her lose with my own eyes.
Fine. But remember, you represent Moretti now.
I know.
When the time comes, listen to me.
Are you worried about me or about Evelyn?
Enough!
Before the auction, no one makes another mistake.
Repair is at 70%.
The chip is aged, and there are signs of secondary damage.
Secondary damage?
Someone tried to erase key passages.
Obsidian auction, 3 days from now.
How did you know we needed that?
Lot 47, the Veil silver casket.
Morelli knows too?
Julian has registered to bid. Sophia will accompany him.
They're definitely scared.
Good. Let them be.
Obsidian auction recognizes invitations, not identities. To get in, you need a role.
What role?
My date.
Pick another one.
Blackwood Legal Counsel? Doesn't fit. Temporary partner?
Not insulting enough. Are you doing this on purpose?
It's just the easiest way.
I don't like owing favors.
You can pay me an appearance fee.
How much?
We'll discuss it after you get the ledger back.
The audio repair is complete.
Play it.
Evelyn, if you're hearing this, it means I couldn't bring you home myself. Don't trust anyone who uses gratitude as a cage. Your name wasn't given to you by anyone else. It has belonged to you since the day you were born.
Miss...
If the Vials won't hand over the Ash Ledger, then control their child. She's only a baby. Are you sure she has value?
She is Vale blood. The Vault, the old archives, the witness authority, all of it will recognize her. She cannot belong to the Neutral Council. She must belong to Moretti.
That recording is enough to reopen the old Vale case. Not enough. The rest is damaged.
The key section is gone. After that, he mentions Caruso, a custody agreement, and the second part of the ledger, but it's unclear. Can it be repaired? We need more original references.
Or we find the second part.
Wait, there's a location record. Location record for the second part of the Ash Ledger.
Lot 47, Vale silver casket.
Looks like we have to go to the auction.
Not to bid.
Then what?
To take it. Someone sent a warning.
It's a trap.
Of course it is. Then are we still going? Yes.
As my date?
As a temporary partner.
Invitation won't have room for that many words.
Then write date.
Are you sure?
It's mine. They don't get to bury me with it.
Tomorrow night, I'll pick you up.
The gown for the auction arrived. Too loud. Tomorrow night, loud is the point.
Miss, Obsidian auction will be crowded and full of eyes. Moretti and Caruso will both be watching you.
If they're watching me, they won't notice what you're doing.
I'll handle the auction background.
I'll trace the silver casket's custody chain.
I'll make sure she gets in and out safely.
I don't need protection.
Then I'll stand beside you.
I brought this from the old manor. It may help you tomorrow night.
Why would the Marathi old manor have something from Vale?
Some things aren't lost. They're hidden.
Who hid it? Don Victor?
Miss, I can't be sure.
You're afraid again.
I'm afraid the truth may become more dangerous if you learn it too fast.
Danger already found me. Then please wear it tomorrow night. At least let those who remember Vale recognize you.
One more thing. The Obsidian auction registration list was updated.
Who?
A senior Caruso family member will attend.
Then the silver casket matters more than we thought.
The more it matters, the better. Tomorrow night, they'll know Evelyn Val is back.
Is that Evelyn?
Is that Adrian Blackwood with her?
She actually had the nerve to come. Julian, don't forget whose side you're on now.
I know.
Evelyn, after leaving Moretti, you found yourself a new backer fast. Still better than needing Julian's arm just to stand upright.
Represent Moretti now.
Then Moretti should be very worried.
Eve, don't make a scene here.
Relax. I'm not the one making a scene tonight.
She's only here to take back what's hers.
Hers? Since when is the Vale silver caselet hers?
Central bank system says my name is Evelyn Vale. Want to verify it again?
Ladies and gentlemen, the auction is about to begin.
Backmart access secured. I'm checking the casket custody chain.
Carrasco's people entered the vault room.
Keep digging.
The Vale family silver casket. Opening bid, $5 million.
10 million. Do we follow?
No.
$30 million. $30 million. Sold to.
Evelyn, looks like your precious thing belongs to us tonight.
Does it?
I request on-site inspection.
Miss Evelyn, the lot has been sold.
Obsidian Auction Rule 12. For family relics, the original heir may request on-site inspection. What makes you the original heir? Central Bank certified primary heir of Vale.
Inspection is allowed, but don't drag this out.
Evelyn, don't tell me you really think there's a ledger inside.
Eve, you were fooled by fake information.
Auction records show the casket weighed how much when it entered storage?
1,200 grams.
And now?
940 grams.
260 grams missing.
Could be a registration error.
It isn't. Before entering the auction, the silver casket was temporarily held for 4 hours by a Carugo-owned storage agency. Weight before storage, 1,200 grams. After storage, 940.
I knew nothing about this.
There are so many things you don't know.
You forged this!
The back-out records are from Obsidian Auction's internal system. Blackwood has mirrored backups.
Search the holding box!
Uncle!
Shut up!
The second part of the Ash Ledger. You stole the casket because you wanted the ledger.
Eve, I can explain.
Again?
If the ledger is in the casket, destroy it.
Get it first. We can't let Evelyn restore the Veil identity.
That wasn't me! I didn't say that!
Voice print?
Completed. Authentic.
From today on, I reclaim my real name. Evelyn Vale.
The second part is mainly a catalog of old agreements. It involves Moretti, Caruso, and one final witness.
Is there a name?
Only initials. Evie.
Elena? Maybe it's just a coincidence.
Your full name is Elena Voss.
You knew about the Ash Ledger?
When I was young, I was only a junior housekeeper at the Moretti Old Manor.
But you were at the Old Manor 20 years ago.
Yes.
Did you meet my mother? Mom?
Miss, I can't be sure that woman was your mother.
Say it.
One night, Don Victor brought a woman back. She was holding a baby and crying, begging Don Victor to hand the child to the neutral council.
That baby was me.
I think so.
Why did you never tell me?
Because the next day, that woman disappeared. Everyone in the old manor was warned that anyone who mentioned Vale would leave this world.
Mom, I was too scared then.
Do you have evidence?
The old manon's butler system has offline archives. Visitor logs and footage from 20 years ago should still be there.
Don Victor will think of that too.
Mom, do you still have access to the Old Manor?
Yes, but I have to return to Moretti Manor to retrieve it.
No, it's too dangerous for you to go back now.
Miss, if Evie really is me, I can't hide from this.
It's a call from the Old Manor. Raphael says Mom must return to Moretti Manor immediately.
Don Victor summons Elena. Don Victor knows.
No!
Elena, you can't go back!
If I don't, Don Victor will know I've already taken your side.
Don Victor already knows. Mara, locate the Old Manor. Adrian, lend me a car.
I'm going with you.
This is a Moretti matter.
Now it's also a vast matter.
Evelyn, no, I should call you Miss Val now. You finally came back to admit you were wrong? I came back because I was afraid you'd misspell my name on the expulsion order.
The Elder Council has decided to formally expel Evelyn. She no longer has the Moretti name, no family protection, and no access to any Moretti resources.
Evelyn, do you object?
No.
You're really accepting it?
I accept the expulsion. At the same time, I reclaim authorship over every agreement I completed in my own name over the past 10 years. Any cooperation transferred to Sophia must be re-verified.
Those agreements were indeed negotiated by Evelyn.
Impossible! Those belong to Moretti!
Moretti can expel me. It can't steal my record.
You think this can shake Moretti?
I'm only taking back what's mine. Located. Underground old study.
This meeting isn't over.
I know.
Eve, I've been found. Elena is in the underground old study.
Sit down.
The people who matter to me matter more than your meeting.
Move. If she wants to see it, let her see it.
Eve!
Did they hurt you?
No. Miss, I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner.
Now isn't too late.
The key to the Butler System's offline archive. The footage from 20 years ago is inside.
Elena, you were by my side for 20 years.
Which means I was silent for 20 years too.
You know the price of betraying Moretti.
I didn't betray Moretti. I simply stopped betraying that child.
Stop, Evelyn!
Who wants to try?
Victor, if something happens to me, please give my daughter to the neutral council. Don't let Evelyn be dragged into family war.
Evelyn will survive.
Promise me.
Evelyn will survive. But Evelyn must belong to Moratti.
This isn't real. So you knew who I was from the beginning.
I saved you.
You kept me.
Without Moretti, you'd have died long ago.
Without me, Moretti should have collapsed 10 years ago.
I can testify Evelyn was not an orphan saved by Moratti. Evelyn was the Vale Hearn detained by Moratti.
An old housekeeper's testimony changes nothing.
Then let the neutral counsel hear it. I'll apply for a Vale family restitution hearing.
You really want to put the family that raised you on trial?
You put my life on the altar first.
The application for the Vale family restitution hearing has been filed. The neutral counsel will respond within 3 days.
Don Victor won't sit around waiting for the hearing.
Don Victor needs a bigger headline to distract everyone.
Morelli and Caruso jointly announced an engagement.
Whose?
Sophia Morelli and Julian Caruso.
So soon? Don Victor wants to use the engagement to steady the alliance between the two families.
And to tell the public that you've already been replaced.
The invitation came too. They're provoking us. No. They're giving us a stage.
You're going?
Of course. Eve, there will definitely be a trap at that engagement party. Every time Moretti and Caruno set a trap, they forget they're standing on evidence. Wait, there's an old photo here too.
There are words on the back.
Agreement sealed. Vale silenced.
Agreement sealed, Vale silenced. This is evidence that Moretti and Caruso were both involved in the old Vale case.
Still not enough. There's something in the photo lining. Badly damaged, but repairable. How long? Now.
Vale won't hand over the ledger. The child will be controlled by Moretti. Caruso will handle the outside help channel. After it's done, the resources Val left behind will be shared by both families.
Once this is public, the engagement party becomes a trial.
But the recording isn't fully repaired yet. The second half is cut off. Another anonymous email.
Moralty and Caruso know Elena is the key witness.
Then are we still going? Yes.
Evelyn.
Morelli and Caruso want to use the engagement party to announce I've been replaced. Then I'll give Sophia and Julie an engagement gift. What gift? Let the bride and groom hear in front of everyone how their families stole Vale.
I'll go with you.
Tomorrow night, the seaside estate. See you at the engagement party.
With Sophia and Julian engaged, Morelli and Caruso have stabilized things again. But Evelyn Vale just reclaimed her identity. Announcing an engagement now is basically a slap in her face, isn't it? Julian, is Evelyn really coming?
She'll come.
You know her that well?
She won't pass up any chance to humiliate us.
And you? Do you want to see her?
Tonight, you're my fiancé.
She really came. And she came with Adrian Blackwood.
Evelyn, I thought you wouldn't come. After all, tonight might be a little awkward for you. My ex-fiancé and my former little sister getting engaged. I had to come enjoy the show.
Eve, this is an engagement party. Don't make a scene.
Relax. I'm not here to make a scene. I'm here to give a gift. What gift? Open it.
What is this?
Proof of your family's long, intimate history.
Eve, what the hell are you trying to do?
Play it.
If Vale won't hand over the Ash Ledger, Moretti control the child. Kuroko will handle the outside help channel. After it's done, the resources Val left behind will be shared by both families.
Turn it off! Why? Is the truth inappropriate for an engagement party?
Forging recordings to attack two major families is a consequence you can't afford.
That's why I brought the forensic report.
No signs of editing. The voices match Morelli and Caruno meeting archives from 20 years ago.
No. Julian, did you know about this?
I didn't.
He never knows much, but he does know how to steal.
If the ledger is in the casket, destroy it.
Get it first. We can't let Evelyn restore the Vale identity.
That wasn't me! It's spliced!
Voice print comparison is complete. It's authentic. Sophia, stop talking.
Now you're trying to dump this on me?!
I'm trying to save you!
You're saving yourself!
After tonight, I will formally submit the Val family restitution hearing application to the neutral counsel. What Morelli and Caruno did to Val back then, I will investigate one piece at a time.
You think this is enough to topple two major families?
Not this. What you said with your own mouths.
You'll regret pushing yourself against every family.
I've already died once. Regret is not something I save for a second time.
Someone asked me to give this to Miss Vale.
Eve,
Arthur Lane's badge.
Vale's old lawyer?
Missing for 20 years.
Looks like I wasn't the only one who prepared a gift tonight.
I checked. The badge is real. Arthur Lane was Vale's exclusive attorney 20 years ago. He disappeared after the old Vale case.
I've heard that name. After Lady Isabella's accident, people at the old manor said Arthur Lane had been dealt with too.
Dealt with?
Only a rumor. No one dared ask.
This badge is too well preserved. It doesn't look like something dug out of ruins. Looks more like someone intentionally put it in our hands.
What about the note? Why does it say not to trust Marcus?
Looks like I picked a bad time.
Perfect timing.
I heard something happened at the engagement party. I came to confirm whether the hearing application proceeds as planned.
It does.
So now you're investigating me?
Yes.
At least you're direct.
When you heard Arthur Lane's name, your fingers tightened. Last night when you saw the badge, your first reaction wasn't confusion, it was fear.
You observe closely.
So explain.
20 years ago, Arthur Lane came to the Hale family, said Vale had been jointly locked down by Morelli and Carew.
And he needed Hale to testify before the neutral council.
And Hale refused.
Not refused. We lost our nerve.
Why?
Don Victor had old dirt on Hale. If Hale testified for Vale, Hale would be dragged down first.
So you chose silence?
Yes.
How many people did your silence kill?
I won't defend the past.
But Don Victor is still controlling you today.
That's why the note warned us. Don Victor did contact me.
When?
After the engagement party.
What did he say?
He said at the hearing, all I need to do is create reasonable doubt. I don't have to prove Vault voluntarily entered trusteeship. I only need the council to believe the old agreement may be valid.
And you agreed?
I said I'd consider it.
Wow, practiced.
Hale owes Vale a choice. This time I can help you record him.
Why?
Because if I keep letting Don Victor lead me around, Hale will always be Moretti's shadow.
You're not doing this for Vault, you're doing it for Hale.
Yes.
Fine. At least that was true.
Eve, you're really letting him meet Don Victor?
Yes.
You're using him to bait Don Victor?
Don Victor wants Marcus to stab me in the back. Then let that betrayal happen in front of everyone.
Aren't you afraid I'll actually betray you?
I am. That's why you won't be my only witness. I want Arthur Lane alive on the witness stand.
I don't know where he is.
Not necessarily.
The last alias Arthur Lane used before disappearing was Edward Ashfield.
That name appeared 3 years ago at the Legal Monetary.
Legal monastery?
A place that shelters lawyers and witnesses from old cases.
We find him tomorrow.
If Arthur is alive, he may not be willing to see you.
Then let him see that Vale is still alive.
You're sharper than Isabella.
I'm not her. I'm the one you all silenced for 20 years.
You really came.
You said you know where Arthur Lane is.
I do, but I won't tell you for free. What do you want? After the hearing, don't hand me back to Don Victor.
You're afraid of him?
Aren't you?
I was. Then I learned fear is useless.
Easy for you to say now. You're the Vale heir. You have Adrian, Mara, the neutral council. What do I have? If I don't obey, Morelli throws me away.
You still hurt me plenty while obeying.
I admit that.
This is the copy of the trusteeship agreement Julian plans to submit at the hearing. He says Val voluntarily entrusted assets to Moretti and Caruso back then. The signature page was burnt. The corners are missing because it's pieced together. Raphael said the real signature page couldn't be found, so they had to patch it with an old seal and fragments.
How did you get it? Julian left it in my room after he got drunk. He thought I wouldn't understand it.
You don't understand contracts, but you do understand who will abandon you.
Do you have to talk like that?
I'm being very polite.
Arthur Lane isn't dead. Raphael has an old list. It says Arthur changed his name to Edward Ashford and hid at the legal monastery.
Where's the list?
I couldn't bring it out, but I remember the address. Everything you wanted is here.
Anything else?
Marcus Hale will betray you at the hearing.
I know.
You know, and you're still keeping him around?
Sophia, not every betrayal can only hurt people. Some betrayals can become evidence.
You really have changed.
I haven't changed. I just stopped pretending to be stupid for all of you.
I really thought if I got the ring, Julian would choose me and Grandpa would finally acknowledge me.
They weren't acknowledging you. They were acknowledging an heir they could control.
And you? Did you always look down on me?
I don't look down on you for wanting to be seen. I look down on you for stealing someone else's life so you could be seen. I'll record what you handed over. After the hearing, you accept a neutral counsel investigation. I won't hand you back to Moretti for private punishment.
You won't forgive me?
No.
Not even a little?
I don't have the right to forgive you on behalf of the Evelyn you already helped kill once.
Killed once?
Mara, Eve, people are approaching outside, not ours.
3 men. Looks like Julian's people.
Did you invite someone else?
No! I didn't!
Sophia, Mr. Caruso sent us to bring you back.
I can't go with them.
Then walk out on your own.
What?
You said you wanted to live, right?
Starting now, stop kneeling and begging other people for a place.
Mr. Edward doesn't see visitors.
Tell him Evelyn Vale is here.
He says he'll see Miss Vale alone.
No.
I'm going in. Eve, if he wanted to hurt me, he wouldn't have hidden for 20 years.
You look like Isabella.
A lot of people say that.
You don't like hearing it?
I never met her, so I don't know whether I'm supposed to like it. Arthur Lane.
That name died 20 years ago.
Then bring him back to life.
You came too late.
I didn't come too late. You hid too long.
Do you know what happened back then?
I know Vale was locked down. I know my mother entrusted me to the neutral council, but Don Victor kept me. I know Moretti and Caruso took Vale assets. I also know Hale stayed silent.
Then you should know we lost.
That's why I'm not here to hear how you lost.
You want me to testify?
Yes.
You think I never wanted to?
20 years ago, I took the official documents to Hale, and Hale backed down. Morelli's men chased me to the docks. Caruso blocked the outside panel. I had no choice but to disappear.
You disappeared. What about the documents?
Still here. Isabella Vale's signed inheritance documents. The declaration that Vale core assets could not be placed in trusteeship, and your heir confirmation.
If the documents are still here, why not make them public?
No one would believe a lawyer missing for 20 years. And the moment I appeared, Don Victor would destroy me first.
It's different now.
How?
Vale has me. I'm not here to beg you to protect me. I'm here to tell you that the child you failed to protect is standing here now, demanding that her lawyer testify.
When Isabella gave you to the world, she wanted you safe.
I will be safe. But not the kind of safety bought with silence.
Eve, the neutral council sent a notice. The hearing has been moved up to tomorrow morning.
Victor knows you came for me.
Then we leave now.
I'll go with you.
Are you sure?
20 years ago, I failed to stand beside Vale. This time I'll stand on the witness stand.
Welcome back, Attorney Lane.
Welcome home, Miss Vale.
The Vale family restitution hearing is now in session.
Application Evelyn Vale, please make your...
First, Central Bank's bloodline certification proves I am the primary heir of Vale. Isabella Vale's handwritten letter proves I was not an abandoned baby adopted by Moretti. Third, Elena's testimony and old footage proved Don Victor knew my identity and kept me in Moretti.
Victor, if something happens to me, please give my daughter to the neutral council.
She'll survive, but she must belong to Moretti.
Moretti's response.
I admit Evelyn was not an ordinary orphan. But the situation was chaotic then. Vile could no longer protect her. Moretti kept her alive.
Keeping me alive doesn't give you the right to steal my name.
Without Moretti, you wouldn't be qualified to stand here today.
Without me, Moretti wouldn't have lasted the past 10 years.
Caruso submits supplemental evidence. 20 years ago, Val voluntarily placed part of its assets under trusteeship with Moretti and Caruso existed. Evelyn has no legal right to demand restitution.
That's the one Sophia gave us. As expected.
Document received. Does the applicant challenge it?
I challenge it. The signature page paper doesn't match the main text age, the seal is displaced, and the agreement number does not exist in the Vale legal system.
Because you say it doesn't exist? Arthur Lane disappeared 20 years ago. The Vale legal system has been gone for ages.
Then let's ask Vale's lawyer.
Arthur Lane?
So Caruso still remembers me. Please confirm your identity.
Arthur Lane, former entrusted attorney for the Vale family.
20 years ago, I was responsible for preserving Vale's core asset documents. This trusteeship agreements, Val never voluntarily entrusted core assets to Moretti or Caruso.
You disappeared for 20 years. Who can prove your documents are real?
The neutral legal system's sealed filing number can prove it.
The sealed filing number is valid. The date is 20 years ago. Authorized parties Isabella Val and Arthur Lane.
A lawyer who hid for 20 years suddenly appears. Convenient.
What is convenient is that you failed to find me 20 years ago.
Marcus Hale, as the representative of the Hale family, do you have supplemental testimony?
The Hale family did witness a trusteeship handoff back then. So I believe the agreement submitted by Julian may be valid.
Did he really just stab us in the back?
Watch Evelyn.
Did you witness Vale voluntarily entrusting assets, or did you witness Moretta and Caruno receiving them unilaterally?
Did you see Isabella Vale sign it?
No.
Did you see Arthur Lane register this agreement?
No.
Then what is the basis for your may be valid?
The basis is that Don Victor wanted me to say it. 20 years ago, Hale stayed silent because Moretti held leverage over an old Hale case. Last night, Don Victor contacted me again and ordered me to create reasonable doubt at the hearing.
Marcus, do you understand what you're saying?
Yes. This time, I recorded it.
Play it.
You don't need to prove the agreement is real. You only need the council to believe it might be.
And Hale's old case?
As long as you obey, Morelti will keep burying it for you.
Don Victor, you will need to explain this.
You calculated everyone.
No. You simply always believed everyone would keep fearing you.
Technician, verify the recording.
The original device is intact. No editing traces detected. The voice print is a high match with Don Victor's public historical records.
Carulo had no knowledge of this. Marcus' recording only proves Murray applied pressure. It does not prove Carulo participated in forging the agreement.
Why are you so nervous?
I'm clarifying the facts.
Then let's clarify yours. This is the revised trusteeship agreement Julian held before the hearing. Its signature page matches the version submitted today.
Where did you get that?
From someone who finally got tired of taking the fall for you.
Even if I saw a copy, it doesn't prove I knew it was fake.
The position of the Vale seal on the signature page is something only a forger would miss. In a real Vale agreement, the seal always covers the inheritance number, not the witness name.
You didn't notice before submitting it?
But you are not a Vale lawyer.
You tried to seize Vale assets with a document you couldn't even understand?
Eve, considering what we had, do you have to take it this far?
When you used a fake agreement to steal my family, did you think about what we had?
Arthur Lane, continue stating the contents of Vale's official documents. Second, Police Vale Central Witten Authority may not be dickness for entrusted to conflict-related families while the heir is a minor.
First, Evelyn Vale is the only legal heir of Isabella Vale and Thomas Vale. Second, Vale Core Assets, Central Witness Authority, and the medical fund may not be transferred or entrusted to conflict-related families while the heir is a minor.
Third, if the heir is missing, the neutral council shall provide temporary supervision, not the three Mayer families.
Do the documents contain authorization for Moretti management?
No.
Do they contain authorization for Caruso's outside help channel?
No.
Meaning Moretti had no legal authority to detain me, and Caruso had no legal authority to block outside help.
Correct. Legal documents are beautiful. But 20 years ago, the law couldn't save Vale.
So you made the law's decision for it?
I made the decision to survive.
For whom? For me or for Moretti to keep controlling Vale's key?
You grew up in Moretti, received training, enjoyed resources. Now you turn around and judge the family that raised you. How very Vale, so hypocritical.
I grew up in Moretti because you didn't send me where I belonged. I received training because you needed someone capable of solving Moretti's problems. Enjoyed resources? Over the past 10 years, I negotiated 12 alliance agreements for Moretti, handled 3 internal conflicts, and stabilized the neutral representatives in the Harbor District. Those resources were earned by me. Don Victor, you can say you raised me, but you cannot dress up 20 stolen years as kindness.
Without the Moretti name, you're nothing.
Wrong. Without the Moretti name, I am finally myself.
This court will recess for 10 minutes for temporary deliberation. The trusteeship agreement submitted by Moretti and Caruso is temporarily classified as highly suspected forged evidence.
If this continues, Moretti will face a full investigation.
Are you afraid?
I'm afraid the family will sink with you.
Then remember, you are part of the family too.
Eve, did we win? Not yet.
But they're starting to crack from within.
Then make the crack wider.
After temporary deliberation, the council issues a preliminary ruling. First, Central Bank's bloodline certification and the sealed documents submitted by Arthur Lane are recognized as valid. Evelyn Vale is the legal heir of the Vale family. Second, the Vale family's neutral seat is restored, and Vale House may enter a provisional observation period. Third, Moretti and Corono's disposal rights over old Vale assets are suspended. Relevant assets will enter temporary freeze and review procedures.
Chairman, this will affect Corono's normal business.
Business obtained through spected forged agreements should not be normal in the first place. Fourth, A formal review of the old Vale case from 20 years ago is launched. Moretti, Karuga, and Hale must cooperate and submit relevant documents. Hale accepts. Vale accepts.
Accepted.
Moretti? Morelli will cooperate with council procedure. But I remind everyone, St. Aurilla's order is not maintained by a pack of lawyers and old papers.
And it isn't maintained by stealing someone else's child.
You got your name back, and you put yourself in front of every family. From now on, everyone will watch you, waiting for you to make a mistake.
Then let them look closely.
You think Vale House will be cleaner than Moretti?
I don't promise I'll never make mistakes, but I promise every power held by Vale House will be recorded, reviewed, and held accountable, including me.
That will limit your power.
I've seen what unlimited power looks like.
Naive.
Maybe, but at least I won't prove my sanity by imprisoning a child.
Today's hearing is concluded. In 3 days, the council will hold a confirmation meeting for the restoration of the Vale House speed.
Eve, let's talk.
Talk.
Caruso can renegotiate with Vale. The past wasn't decided by me alone.
Now you want to cut yourself loose?
I just never wanted us to end up here.
We ended up here a long time ago. The night you stood beside Sophia.
Back then, I didn't know you were Vale.
So if I were only Evelyn Moretta, I deserved your betrayal? Julian, you never loved me. You loved the power I could bring you.
Eve, Sophia's missing.
Since when?
During the hearing. She was in the supervised waiting room, now she's gone, and this location was left behind.
It's at the old seaside house.
There's also a photo.
What's this?
A file I should have told you about earlier.
About me?
Yes.
Find Sophia first.
I'll explain.
I hope you explain all of it.
I traced the location. The signal is at the old seaside house, but it may be a decoy.
The number that sent the photo bounced through 3 layers. The last one came from an abandoned Karoo communication station.
Julian.
Or someone using his hand.
Tell me about the file first.
20 years ago, someone inside Blackwood found out Vale might have a surviving child. They suspected the child was in Moretti.
Blackwood knew too.
It wasn't an official family action. It was an internal faction's private investigation. They wanted to use the Vale heir to seize neutral witness authority and force my father to adjust the Blackwood succession.
And you destroyed the trail.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell Eve?
I was too young then. I didn't have the power to take her out of Morani. If Blackwood found her first, she'd go from being Moretti's pawn to Blackwood's pawn.
So you decided for me that not knowing the truth was safer?
Yes.
Do you know what I hate most?
Yes. Other people deciding your fate.
And you still did it.
I was wrong.
What else is in that file?
Several pages were replaced. The cover in the photo is real, but the leaked version contains fake pages claiming Blackwood used Eve and colluded with Vale House.
The goal is to damage my relationship with Adrian and make the council question Vale House's independence.
You just won the hearing, and now they attack the Blackwood connection. The timing is precise.
Don Victor won't miss this chance.
Do they have Sophia? Unknown. She sent one line saying you must come alone.
Miss, you can't go.
I'll go, but not alone.
I'll go in with you.
No. If you go in, they get footage to use.
Then you're in more danger alone.
You control the perimeter, Noah traces the signal, Mara syncs the recording. I need to know who is really across from us.
Evelyn.
This is my game.
It's also a game aimed at Blackwood.
Which is why you cannot stand in the center of the camera.
I'll be outside. If you don't respond in 3 minutes, I go in.
5 minutes.
3.
4.
They negotiate over this too?
Shut up. When we get back, you hand over every Blackwood file to me, not the parts you screened.
I will. All of it.
Miss, wear this. Your mother didn't have anyone to walk that road with her. Now you have us.
I know. The car is ready. Go to the old seaside house.
Signal is stable.
3 people on the perimeter. Locked.
Sophia. You really came. Where's the file? On the table.
The first 5 pages are real. The last 3 were swapped.
How did you know?
The fake pages were rushed. They didn't even match Blackwood's internal numbering format.
I didn't know. They said if I lured you here, they'd let me leave St. Aurelia.
Who?
Eve, you're still so smart.
Julian has appeared. Recording.
Carazo has already removed you. Who are you still working for?
Myself.
Every time you say that, you end up serving someone else.
As long as you admit tonight that Val House and Blackwood collude long ago, I still have a chance to come back.
Come back to whom? Dog Victor? Or Caruso?
Doesn't matter. What matters is you can't keep winning.
You're not losing because I keep winning. You're losing because you're too greedy.
If you told me earlier you were the Veil Stare, I never would have chosen Sophia!
What did you say?
Eve was the one I chose first. You forced me into having no way out.
So I was a replacement from the beginning?
Shut up!
So everything you said to me was fake too?
Now you understand? I do.
Enough. Eve, sign this statement. Admit that you and Blackwood jointly concealed the Vale identity. Admit the hearing evidence was manipulated by Blackwood. Otherwise, this file appears in front of every family representative tomorrow.
You think I'll be scared?
You're not afraid of your reputation? Aren't you afraid Adrian lied to you?
She'll ask me, not you.
How did you get in?
4 minutes were up.
3 minutes, 40 seconds.
I anticipated early.
Julian, everything you just said has been synced to the Carasso family and neutral council observers.
You set me up?
No, you just always explain yourself very completely.
Uncle, listen to me.
From this moment on, Carasso permanently removes Julian. All of your actions have nothing to do with the family.
You've been abandoned too.
Shut up! This is all your fault! If you weren't so useless, I wouldn't have lost!
Even now, all you can do is blame someone else.
Eve, you'll regret this!
You've said that too many times.
Can I still go to the neutral council?
Yes.
You're not afraid I'll bite back again?
You can try.
I won't.
Go back. Now it's your turn to explain.
I know. This is Blackwood's internal sealed version. No delections, no edit.
You two stay too. This isn't just a private matter. It concerns Val House's independence.
All right.
Start from the beginning.
When I was 13, Blackwood the Vale family might have a surviving heir and suspected she was in Moretti.
What did they want to do with Eve?
Control the Vale inheritance and gain access to the neutral witness system. They also wanted to use it to force my father to change Blackwood's succession arrangements.
How did you know they were looking at me?
I had seen your photo. When we were children, after a family conflict, you saved me. You may not remember.
I don't.
I do. Later, when I saw the girl in the file, I recognized you. I knew if that file kept circulating, you would leave Moretti's cage only to enter Blackman's chessboard.
So you destroyed the trail?
I destroyed the parts that could locate you, but kept part of the sealed file in case it ever needed to be traced back.
Did you tell Moretti about this?
No.
Did you use it to make a deal with Don Victor?
No.
Before you broke into the Moretti succession hall in the last life, did you already know I might be Vale?
I knew the suspicion. I didn't have proof.
So you didn't come to the Moretti hall just because of ceasefire news?
No. I received word that Moretti planned to dispose of you on succession night. I arrived too late.
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
Because I was afraid once you knew, you would think I was the same as them.
You did something similar to them.
I know.
You didn't treat me as a bargaining agent, but you decided what truth should arrive later.
Yes.
Adrian, I can accept that you once didn't have the power to save me. But I cannot accept someone standing beside me continuing to choose.
It won't happen again.
That sentence isn't enough.
Then I'll give you access. From today on, you have viewing rights to every file involving Vale, Evelyn Vale, and Blackwood Vale cooperation. No approval from me needed. Boss, that's a very high clearance. I know.
You're sure?
I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm giving you what you need to verify me.
I will check.
You should.
Then what about the rumor that Blackwood colluded with Vale? Tomorrow we release the forged portions of the file and state that Julian attempted to fabricate evidence. The real Blackwood file will be independently sealed and reviewed by Vale House.
That proves Vale House isn't controlled by Blackwood.
Still not enough.
You want me to publicly recuse myself from Vale House decisions?
Yes, until the council confirms the seat.
Done. I told you, Val is not a Blackwood subsidiary.
Miss, Moretti issued a public trial invitation. Don Victor plans to accuse you tomorrow night of destroying St. Aria's order. Has he lost his mind the hearing and he still dares to put Eve on trial?
He's not crazy. It's his last move.
That's Moretti's home field.
Perfect. It's time I went back and settled the final account.
This time, Don Victor invited the Moretti Elder Council, Caruso observers, neutral council representatives, and neutral families. He wants to nail you as the person destroying order.
He won't argue facts anymore. He'll argue order.
Many families aren't afraid Don Victor is innocent. They're afraid the old rules will be overturned.
So he wants them to believe I'm more dangerous than he is. He'll say you're ungrateful, that Blackwood is using you, that you're attacking all of St. Aurelia with an old case. Because I used to say it too. I can testify.
Miss Sophia's testimony may not be credible.
I know you don't trust me, but I can prove that before succession night, Don Victor, Raphael, and Julian all knew I would be pushed forward. They never planned to let Evelyn inherit from the start. Condition: don't hand me back to Moretti for private punishment.
You accept a neutral council investigation and explain everything you participated in.
Including the old church and the silver casket.
Including them.
Fine.
Raphael also sent word. He wants to meet you. He says he has Don Victor's internal orders.
Raphael switching sides now?
Not switching sides. Cutting losses.
Will you meet him?
Yes. But not at Val House.
Afraid he'll bring a wire?
Afraid he'll die on my doorstep.
Don Victor will clean up anyone who might turn on him.
So after today, Sophia, Elena, Arthur, and Marcus are all under neutral council protection. And you?
I'm meeting Raphael.
I'll go with you. Perimeter security only. I won't participate in Val decisions.
Learning fast.
I heard that.
Aren't you afraid? Tomorrow night I'll go to Moretti Manor. I was afraid once, died once too. This time I'm not the one who should be scared.
You still came.
You said you had Don Victor's internal orders.
Succession Night, the old church, central bank, the silver casket. Every internal order is inside.
Your signature is on them too.
That's why I said this is cutting losses, not redemption.
At least you're honest.
I don't want Moretti to sink with Victor. Some elders are already wavering. They only need one public reason.
You want me to hand them that reason tomorrow night?
Yes.
Then Moretti swaps in someone cleaner and keeps living?
The family cannot die.
Is that what you thought when Vale died? To keep Moretti alive, anyone else can be sacrificed.
I won't deny it.
Then why should I help you save Moretti?
Because you're not Victor. You won't throw the whole city into chaos just for revenge. If Moretti collapses completely, Corrado remnants, the harbor black market, and the neutral districts will all go wild. You want order, rebuild it, not ruins.
You know a lot.
I watched you handle 3 internal conflicts. You understand consequences better than Victor.
I'll use this evidence, but you will also appear on the accountability list.
I know.
If you want to preserve Moretti, have the Elder Council make a public statement tomorrow night. Don't wait for me to pave the road, then come out and pick up the benefits.
They're afraid of Victor.
Then let them stay afraid.
Evelyn. The first time you entered the family training Derskild as a child, I was the one who brought you in.
So?
Back then, I truly thought you would become Morelli's best heir.
So did I. Too bad what you wanted was never an heir. It was a tool.
Are you okay?
No.
Want to talk?
No.
Then I'll walk with you for a while.
Fine.
Evelyn Vale, you betrayed the family that raised you, colluded with Blackwood, and used an old case to destabilize St. Aradia. Today, Moretti demands a public trial. You were raised by Moretti, yet you turned around and bit the family. You are not qualified to talk about justice.
Are you finished?
Not one word of explanation?
I do have one. But it's not for you. First group, identity. My name is Evelyn Vale, not some nameless orphan Marani picked up. Second group, detention. My mother begged you to hand me to the Neutral Council. You said with your own mouth that I had to belong to Moretti.
I saved you.
You detained the Vale heir.
Vale never voluntarily entrusted core assets. The agreement Julian submitted is forged. These internal orders are real. I was involved, and I'm willing to accept council accountability. Traitor. I am finally admitting the family can no longer be buried with you. Sophia, think carefully.
Before succession night, I knew they were going to take Evelyn's place. I cooperated. I said she colluded with Blackwood and didn't deserve to inherit. All of it was false.
Enough!
Evelyn didn't betray Moretti. We betrayed her.
Not enough. This ring was once used by all of you to prove who could decide other people's fate.
It is the symbol of Moretti.
No. Now it's evidence. Not a trial. A removal. Choose. Keep following Don Victor and get dragged into the abyss of the old case, or admit that Morelli also needs to be bound by rules.
Whoever signs is betraying the family.
Looks like Moretti is still used to living on its knees.
I'll sign. Anyone else? Victor, the old case can't be buried anymore. Morelli cannot keep letting one man drag it forward.
Have you forgotten who gave you your elder seat?
And I remember who put Morelli in the defendant's chair today. You think signing cleans your hands?
It doesn't. Signing doesn't mean innocence. It means Moretti is willing to stop continuing the crime. Accountability continues.
I accept. We accept council review.
You're bowing to her?
They aren't bowing to me. They're bowing to evidence.
Under Moretti family rules, a joint signature by more than half the elders can suspend Don Victor's supreme decisioning authority and begin temporary...
Moretti's rules are made by me!
Once rules are written, they no longer belong only to the person who wrote them. I should have made you stay silent forever back then. Shame I lived to see today.
Victor, you once said the family remembers everyone's value, but the only thing you remember is who can still be used.
Elena, even you are here to lecture me?
Not to lecture, to testify. Evelyn is not ungrateful. She finally left the cage, becomes me.
I won't.
You win. What makes you so sure?
Because I'll make the rules able to review me too.
Put it down.
You care about it.
It belongs to Moretti.
Belongs to the old order you used to leish people. From today on, it no longer decides who gets sacrificed.
Don Victor Moretti, you will enter temporary neutral council supervision. Moretti's supreme decisioning authority is suspended. You think leaving Moretti makes you free?
Leaving isn't what made me free.
I finally stopped asking you for permission.
Thank you for not handing me to him.
Don't thank me. That wasn't forgiveness. It was the rule.
Where now?
Home. Vale House?
Vale House. Julian, you used a suspected forged trusteeship agreement, privately transferred clues to the Vale silver cask, and admitted at the old seaside house that you approached Evelyn for power.
Those recordings were made under coercion.
There is no evidence of coercion at the recording site, and you voluntarily proposed that Evelyn sign a false statement.
I did it for Karuto!
You did it for yourself.
If the family had supported me more, I wouldn't have lost to Adrian!
You didn't lose to Adrian, you lost to the Evelyn you looked down at.
Evelyn Vale used to listen to everything I said.
Because she trusted you, not because she was weak.
By decision of the family meeting, Julian Karuto is permanently stripped of inheritance eligibility. Related authority is frozen, and he will be transferred to the Neutral Council for investigation. You can't do this! I'm the Kuroko heir!
You were.
I know a lot of family secrets. Aren't you afraid I'll talk?
You have no leverage left. Every old case you are involved in, Caruso will separate from and submit supplemental materials for.
You're sacrificing me?
You taught us this. When someone fails, someone has to pay.
Evelyn Vale won't let you get away with this!
At least Evelyn Vale follows procedure.
I want to see her! I want to see Eve!
She won't see you.
Caruso has officially removed Julian and submitted an application to cooperate with the investigation. Sophia has entered neutral supervision. Raphael and the Moretti Elder Council submitted initial...
Don Victor has been transferred to a council supervisors outside of 10 permanently.
So we can't relax.
The Aviles case is asset verification and rule rebuilding. That will be more trouble than revenge.
I thought the hardest part was taking them down. No. The hardest part is not becoming them. Then what's the first step? Recover the Vale Medical Fund and restore the neutral witness archives.
Both will affect many interests.
And if they don't?
Then we follow procedure. The way you say follow procedure is scarier than a threat.
Congratulations.
Don't congratulate me yet.
I know. I'm only observing, learning the rules.
Have you learned them?
I'm working on it.
One more thing. The Neutral Council invited Val House to the New Order Conference. Topic, restoring the witness system.
That means the council officially recognizes you at the table.
Reply that Val House will attend. The real trouble starts now.
Article 1. Vale House resumes neutral witness duties. Article 2. All family agreements must publicly file their registration numbers. Article 3. No family may use protection as an excuse to control a person's identity, assets, or inheritant rights.
That's why they go into council filing.
Public filing will reduce cooperation efficiency.
Secret agreements are the most that cost the most. Val was one of those costs.
Hale supports public filing and is willing to join the first pilot group.
Of course Hale supports it. You need to repair your reputation.
Yes. Which is why we need rules to prove ourselves.
This is the draft of the neutral children felt before she died. She wanted to protect children caught in family conflicts.
This draft can be restored together with the medical fund.
Where will the money come from?
Recovered Old Vale assets, Hale compensation, and part of the old case damages from Marathi and Caruso.
Marathi and Caruso may not agree.
They may disagree. After a council ruling, enforcement isn't a request.
The Blackwood young lord has no opinion?
This is not a Blackwood meeting.
But you and Miss Vale are close.
Private relationships do not enter the Vale House Charter.
I agree.
So obedient.
I heard that.
One more clause. Heir authority is reviewable. Evelyn proposes that the head of Vale House may not approve agreements involving identity, inheritance, or trusteeship alone.
Why?
You're limiting yourself?
Yes, because I've seen what an unrestricted family head can do. Vale House is not restoring old glory, it's restoring new rules.
That's a heavy clause.
Which is why it has to be written on day one.
The Neutral Alliance is willing to enter pilot review.
It passed.
Isabella would be proud of you.
I hope she'd rather scold me a little.
Why?
It would mean she was still here.
You did well today.
This is only the beginning.
I know.
You didn't interfere once today.
I'm practicing standing beside you.
Today's agenda is to confirm the provisional charter restoring Vale House's neutral witness duties.
Vale House confirms the restoration of witness duties, but we will not restore the old witness model that relied only on family reputation.
What do you mean?
In agreements, all witness agreement numbers will be publicans, trusteeship, or protection must undergo third-party review.
This will change many families' transaction habits.
That's exactly the point.
If you drag every secret agreement into the sunlight, aren't you afraid families will bypass Vale?
They can. But any agreement that bypass Vale will not be recognized by the Neutral Council.
Hale supports it.
Hale's support does not mean everyone supports it.
But Vale holds the neutral witness seat, and the council has authority to update the rules.
Everyone, the old rules created the old Vale case. Maintaining them unchanged is itself a risk.
Does Blackwood have hidden cooperation with Val House?
Blackwood does not participate in Val House op approvals, holds no interest in Val assets.
What about Adrian Blackwood himself?
Same, no participation.
Blackwood respects Val House independence. Until the council confirms the seat, I personally recuse myself from Val decision meetings.
That is clean.
Not to look clean, to be verifiable.
Proceed to the vote.
Short by 2 votes.
Hale is willing to publicly acknowledge its silence 20 years ago as part of pilot compensation. What are you all still afraid of?
The vote passes.
The Vale House provisional charter period is effective in 6 months. If no major violations occur, the Vale seat will be formally restored. Welcome back, Miss Vale.
Not all the way back yet.
But you're already seated at the table.
Sitting down is only the start.
You never give yourself time to celebrate.
No one used to clean up after me.
Someone can now. Not decide for you. Just pour you a drink.
That I can accept.
By the rules, celebration.
Does this count as your only participation in Vale business today?
Not business. Private congratulations.
Good boundaries.
I had a good teacher.
Who's the teacher?
Miss Vale. There was a moment at the council today when I thought you were going to tear into every family in the room.
I held back.
A real shame.
You wanted a show?
I wanted to see you happy.
I'm not very good at happy yet.
You can learn slowly.
You've been saying slowly a lot lately.
Because too many things came too late before.
Adrian, I haven't fully let go of the file you hid.
I know.
Agreeing to keep standing beside you doesn't mean that never happened.
I won't rush you to forgive me.
Then what do you want standing here now?
I want to formally pursue you.
Now?
I can say it now. The actions can come slowly.
You're sure this isn't an extension of family cooperation?
It isn't.
Not guilt?
Not that either.
Then what is it?
It's that I like you. I like the woman who was betrayed by everyone in the succession hall and still dared to walk back in. I like the Valehead who writes her own power into review clauses.
That sounds like a council speech.
I can say it shorter.
Say it.
Evelyn, I want to be close to you. Not as Blackwood and not as an ally.
Will she say yes?
Shut up, I can't hear. You too. Come out. I'm here to deliver documents.
I'm here to protect the documents.
Where are the documents? You may pursue me. But I won't say yes because you saved me, helped me, or because Blackwood is useful.
I know.
And I will not become a Blackwood possession.
I never imagined that.
Then we take it slowly.
I'm very patient.
Credibility pending.
I didn't say anything.
The Neutral Council requires Moretti to submit the Vale-related asset list within 7 days, including the medical fund, old archive channels, and harbor agreement profits.
7 days? How could we possibly organize it all?
You had 20 years to organize it. 7 days is generous.
If we submit it, how many people will be implicated?
Whoever should be implicated will be implicated.
Easy for you to say. You're on the list too.
Then I'll sign.
This is the preliminary list.
The later transfer records for the medical fund are missing.
Those records are very old. They may have been lost.
Or destroyed.
Stop him! Whose man is he?
Dun Victor's old secretary. Looks like someone doesn't want the list complete. Notify Vale House.
You're telling Evelyn?
She'll find out sooner or later. Better we report it before she digs it up herself.
Has Moretti fallen so low that we have to ask Vale for help?
This isn't asking for help. It's stopping us from doing more stupid things.
From Raphael. Dun Victor's old secretary fled the meeting room and is probably going to destroy the missing part of the asset list.
I found a harbor warehouse under his name. It was registered as an abandoned file repository. Need Blackwood manpower?
I need your intelligence, not your people leading the charge.
Understood.
Should I contact Neutral Council Enforcement? Contact them. Record everything.
If the warehouse really contains vault files, they may burn them.
Then set up cameras before they start. Catching them in the act again? Morelli taught me. Without the scene itself, someone will call it a misunderstanding.
You're going personally?
Of course.
Perimeter.
You're getting good at this.
Working toward a good review.
Go to the harbor warehouse.
Move faster! Burn the medical fund records and harbor profit records. Once the files are gone, Vale can't recover a damn thing.
Will the council find this place? By the time they do, there'll be nothing but ash.
Nice line. Already recorded. Thank you all for gathering the files for me.
Evelyn Vale.
You said the name correctly.
I'd advise against running. Neutral Council enforcement is outside.
I was only following orders!
Whose orders?
Mr. Victor won't fall!
He already has. You just haven't learned how to stand up yet.
Eve, this is the original Vale Medical Fund account. Later funds were split into 3 shell projects.
One shell project is registered under Sophia's Charity Foundation.
And there are Cardity outside channel fees.
Seal all of it.
Recorded. You think Vale is clean? Isabella wasn't completely innocent back then either!
Explain.
What did you just say?
I didn't say anything.
Mara, play it back.
Isabella wasn't completely innocent back then either.
You know something about my mother.
I only heard Mr. Victor mention it. Vale had hidden a list back then too.
What list?
Arthur is on speaker. Talk.
The final witness list. Mr. Victor has been looking for it. He said it could prove Moretti and Caruso weren't the only ones involved in locking Vale down. Where's the list? I don't know! I only know the clue is on the last page of the medical fund file.
Found it. EV. Elena Voss.
Could be someone else.
Send all files from tonight back to Vale House. 3 backups.
What about these people?
Follow procedure. Especially him. I want the full contents of the final witness list.
The trail around your mother is getting deeper.
Then we keep digging.
Eve, the medical fund can be recovered.
First, finish what she wanted to do.
The original medical fund account is confirmed real. 20 years ago, Isabella Val created the fund to protect children caught in family conflicts.
Lady Isabella always wanted to do that.
What happened after?
Moretti took over the fund and split it into 3 shell projects. One went another to Caruso outside Channel, and one portion disappeared.
Hale can help recover the missing fund.
You can assist. You don't get immunity.
I understand.
Only half of the final witness list remains. The initials EV are critical.
Mum, could it be you?
Elena, if you know something, say it now. I did sign a witness record. 20 years ago, the night Lady Isabella was brought to Moretti Manor, I was present. Before she handed the baby to Don Victor, she demanded video and a witness record. I was only an assistant housekeeper then. I didn't know what that record meant.
Did you sign it?
Yes, Elena Voss.
So EV really is you?
Maybe me, maybe not, because there was another person there that night.
Who?
Elias Vance, a former neutral council clerk. He registered that witness record, then disappeared.
Elias Vance is alive?
I don't know. Back then, everyone said he jumped into the sea, but no body was ever found.
If he's alive, he may have the complete witness record.
There's an old file. Before Elias Vance disappeared, he entered the Central Archive Tower. The access record was erased, but the door log shadow remains.
Who controls the Central Archive Tower now?
The Neutral Council. But the old level from 20 years ago is sealed. Access requires the chairman's approval.
We just restored the seat. The application may be delayed. Then we won't apply for access.
What are you planning?
Apply for public verification. If the final witness list involves more families, a private investigation will only be blocked. Public verification lets everyone know I'm looking for it.
It also lets whoever wants to destroy it know.
Then let them move. More bait? This time it's not just bait. Hold a press conference tomorrow to restore the fund. Announce progress on recovering the medical fund and publicly search for Elias Vance.
Miss, that will be dangerous. If Elias is alive, he is hidden for 20 years. Maybe he doesn't want to appear. If Elias is alive, he is hidden for 20 years. Maybe he doesn't want to appear.
Then I'll give him a reason he has to appear.
What reason?
Isabella Vale's Children's Shelter Fund is officially restored. Everyone who witnessed it back then should know her last wish didn't die.
I'll prepare the press conference.
I'll handle security. Perimeter security, no involvement in vault decisions.
Good.
Someone is searching Elias Vance. Timestamp 5 minutes ago.
Who?
Morelty old channels, but not Don Victor's people.
Looks like someone fears his returns more than we. Eve, all media are here. Council representatives are listening online.
Today, Vale House announces the restoration of the Isabella Val Children's Shelter Fund. The first funding pool comes from recovered Val medical funds, HAL compensation, and later old case damages.
Miss Vale, does this mean you will continue pursuing Moretti and Caruso?
Of course, restoring the fund and pursuing accountability do not conflict. Some believe you're using a charity project to expand Vale influence. All fund flows will be public. Audits are welcome. 20 years ago, my mother created this fund to protect children who lost protection in family conflicts, and hidden. Today, I'm putting it back into the light. At the same time, Vale House is publicly searching for an old witness, Elias Vance.
Who is he? A former clerk of the Neutral Council. 20 years ago, he helped record Isabella Vale's final witness document.
Wasn't he already dead? No body, no complete death file, no cancellation of witness authority. To Vale House, he is missing.
Eve, a message came through the anonymous channel. A set of coordinates and one line. Stop looking for me. The list will get everyone killed. Sender. Too many jumps, but the final signals is near the Central Archive Tower.
I know someone is watching this press conference. Elias Vance, if you're alive, I'm not asking you to risk yourself for me. But if you have the truth Isabella Vale left behind, think about this. The child hidden back then is standing here now. She doesn't want anyone else speaking in her place. Miss Vale, are you speaking to Elias Vance? Yes. What if he doesn't appear? Then I'll keep looking.
The coordinates are the seawall clock tower.
I checked. There's an old council communication point there. Elias may have used it 20 years ago.
It's very likely a trap.
Or he's testing me.
Miss, let me go. Mom! If Evie is me, maybe he'll agree to see me.
No. You're a key witness now. You cannot act alone.
I can arrange council guards.
Too obvious. It will scare him off.
I'll position people at a distance.
Fine. Mara and I go, Adrian on the perimeter. Us again? Didn't you want to see the complete list?
Yes, but I didn't want to get hunted on a seawall.
I'll intercept communications.
Tonight. Seawall clock tower.
Adrian, can you hear me?
Yes. 2 perimeter roads are blocked. Noah is tracing the signal.
Elias Vance.
You should not have looked for me.
Elias Vant?
I used to be.
You watched the press conference.
I saw Isabella's name appear again. I also saw you push yourself into the storm, just like her.
I'm not her.
You're more dangerous than she was. She believed in rules. You want to rewrite them.
The old rules couldn't protect her. They couldn't protect me either. Do you have the final witness list?
Half is with me. The other half is sealed in the old level of the Central Archive Tower.
Why split it?
Because the complete list involves more than Moretti and Caruso. It includes people inside the Neutral Council, several neutral families, and an old Blackwood faction.
I heard that.
None of them killed Vale with their own hands back then. But all of them chose to let Vale be silenced.
Give me the list.
Once you have it, every one of them will target you.
They already do.
Not like this. Right now, they fear you'll hold Moretti and Caruso accountable. Once the list is public, they'll fear you'll rebuild the entire council order.
Then let them be afraid.
Isabella said that too. This is the half of the list I kept, and the key to the old level of the Central Archive Tower.
The file is real.
People entering the clock tower. 4 of them, armed. Signal jamming started. I can hold communications for 2 minutes.
They still came.
Who?
The ones who didn't sign back then.
Hand over the list!
Since when do you get to take what's hers?
Back door! Take the list and go. Leave me.
We already lost a witness once 20 years ago! Eve, the back door is locked! We got it.
Your mother's final words were that if the child grew up, she shouldn't live only for revenge. She wanted you free.
Then I'll send the truth back where it belongs first.
The sealed level hasn't been opened in 20 years. By rule, it requires 2 old authority holders and authorization from the current council chairman.
As Vale's former attorney, I hold sealed filing authority. As the former clerk, I hold witness record authority. Authorization granted.
Archive number V20, Vale final witness record.
Ms. Vale, are you sure you want to open it now? Once public, it may implicate multiple families.
If truth needs the perfect timing, there will never be a perfect time.
The complete list matches. Morelli, Caruso, old Hale faction, 2 former neutral council members, and a representative from an old Blackwood faction.
I'll handle the Blackwood part.
Not by yourself. By council procedure, including Blackwood.
All right.
If this record has been opened, then Vale failed to protect the truth. But I ask the person opening it not to turn it into a new blade. Use it to prove that no family can stand above the rules. And please tell my daughter she is no one's bargaining chip. Her name, choices, and future belong to her.
Mother.
Evelyn, if you can hear this, you don't have to become anyone for me. You only have to become yourself.
This archive will enter final review. Every family involved must accept investigation.
Not just investigation.
What institutional want? What do you want?
Any matter involving minors, inheritance, identity, or a tutorship must have 3-party witness, and no interested family may hold it alone.
This will change St. Area's entire family rule system.
Because no one changed it before the old Vale case happened.
The final council convenes in 3 days. You will present the amendment.
I will.
Are you okay?
No.
What do you need me to do?
Stand beside me.
I will.
She didn't want me to avenge her for the rest of my life. She wanted you free. Then we start by changing the city's old rules.
Today's agenda: first, confirm the final witness record of the old Vale case. Second, review the family trusteeship amendment proposed by Vale House.
20 years ago, multiple families and former council members chose silence. They let Vale be locked down and let a child be accountability. I'm also asking that the rules block the next one.
You're treating every family as a potential criminal?
I treat all power as something that must be supervised.
The amendment requires three-party witness, public filing, and recusal by interested families. That will slow decisions.
Slowing down plunder is not a bad thing.
Moretti supports the amendment. Moretti once abused the name of family protection. We have no right to oppose supervision. Hale supports it. The current Blackwood main house supports it and submits the investigation list for the old sex representatives.
Adrian, are you insane? You're cutting off your own arm!
A rotten arm only drags the whole body down.
Arthur Lane, as Vale's former attorney, do you support it? 20 years ago, I believed documents could protect people. Later, I learned documents need systems to protect them too. I support it as well. Witnesses should not have to hide for 20 years to preserve the truth.
The votes are rising. Still short by 3.
We're worried Vale House will use this to control too much witness authority.
Then write Vale into the review scope too. Every Vale House witness record will be reviewed by the council annually. The head of house cannot independently seal agreements involving inheritance.
You're willing to restrict Vale?
If a rule only restricts other people, it isn't a rule. The amendment passes.
From today on, the family trustship amendment is officially effective. Vale House's neutral witness seat is formally restored.
You did it.
It's not over. The accountability list?
Investigation has begun. Don Victor, Julian Carusco, and relevant old factions enter formal review. Sophia Moretti remains under supervision, but because she testified voluntarily, she is exempt from private transfer for punishment.
Any regrets?
No. Standing beside you doesn't mean letting you clean up every rotten account alone.
The formal seat documents are filed. The first aid list for the medical fund is confirmed. The trusteeship amendment has been synced to the council system.
Miss Lady Isabella would be happy if she could see this.
She'd say there's still a lot to do.
That does sound like the Vale family.
I can stay and help organize the old witness archives.
Welcome. But first, you accept witness protection.
After hiding for 20 years, I suppose I should learn to live in the sunlight.
Hale's first compensation payment has been transferred into the Children's Shelter Fund. Later audits will accept Vale supervision.
I'll supervise very strictly.
I expected that.
Blackwood Old Faction Cooperation List and the Reclusion Statement, official version.
You didn't have to deliver it in person.
I wanted to.
Our young lord even delivers documents with sincerity now.
Standard procedure during pursuit. I'll shut up.
From today on, Vale House resumes neutral witness duties. We will not be any family's subsidiary, and we will not be anyone's blade. This place records truth, witnesses rules, and protects every person's freedom to choose their own fate. Eve, there's news from Sophia. Say it. She applied to leave St. Aurelia and accept supervision in a small seaside town. She may not contact Moretti Core Affairs for 3 years.
Council approved it?
Approved. She sent a message through someone. She says thank you for not handing her back to Don Victor.
Tell her not to thank me. That wasn't forgiveness, it was the rule.
I knew you'd say that. Do you really not hate her anymore?
I did. Now I don't have time to keep wasting my life on her.
That's a good line.
You're observing again?
This time I'm privately passing by.
I'll get back to work.
Are you free tonight?
Are you asking me out?
Yes.
Where?
No family, no council, no old cases. Dinner.
Sounds extravagant.
Then we should try it.
Fine.
I'll pick you up at 6.
If you're late, it's cancelled.
I'll be on time.
You booked the whole place?
No. I cleared security risks.
What's the difference?
There are still 2 people next door.
I told you we'd be found.
You insisted on coming.
I'm protecting Eve.
I'm protecting Boss's romantic progress.
You two. Coincidence.
Mine too. They can leave.
Forget it. I'm used to it.
No work talk today?
You started it.
Fine, no work.
I rarely used to sit down and eat like this.
At Moretti?
Every meal was like a meeting. Where you sat, who spoke first, who spoke for whom, all of it meant something.
And now?
Now I'm still learning that things can happen without meaning anything.
For example?
For example, dinner can just be dinner.
Then we're doing well tonight. You smiled.
Surprised?
No. I just wanted to remember it.
Adrian, you don't need to keep compensating for the past.
I know.
If you're pursuing me to make up for not saving me sooner, that isn't fair.
Unfair to you or to me?
Both.
I'm not pursuing you to make up for anything. I've seen you at your lowest, and I've seen you at your sharpest. But the one I most want to be close to is the you who can finally sit down and eat dinner. That line works.
Shut up.
Did you prepare that for a long time?
No, just the truth.
The truth is good.
Does that earn points?
A little.
I'll keep working.
Did you arrange this too?
It's not a proposal. I know it's too soon.
You'd better know.
Just congratulations on officially returning to your own name.
Thank you. No points deducted tonight.
My honor.
These projects used to be privately claimed by each family. Now that everything is public, some people won't adjust.
Discomfort with rules is not the rules problem.
What if a family refuses public filing? That agreement will not be recognized by the neutral council.
Hale is willing to be among the first public filing parties.
All witness records will be backed up to the council, Vale House, and the agreement parties.
An independent complaint channel will also be established. Anyone controlled by a family in the name of protection or trusteeship can apply for review.
That clause will offend people.
That clause exists to offend the people who should be offended.
Blackwood isn't participating?
This isn't a Blackwood agreement.
You've been coming to Val House often lately.
Observing isn't illegal.
Pretty confident.
He's already showing restraint.
If Blackwood wants to sign an agreement, follow the process and line up.
Understood.
The first batch of agreements all passed. Eve, we're really operating now.
The first children for the Children's Shelter Fund move into the temporary center tomorrow.
Security?
Blackwood provides perimeter risk reports and does not touch operations.
Council guards handle internal security.
The process is clean.
Good.
There's something I should tell you in advance. Some people inside Hale oppose the compensation payment and may cause trouble at next week's meeting.
Let them come to the public meeting.
You're not afraid they'll make a scene? You really are every old family's nightmare now.
Thank you for the compliment.
Anything else?
Yes.
You stay too.
I'd like to invite you to Blackwood's annual dinner.
In what capacity?
My guest.
Not your date?
If you're willing, that too.
Progress. He knows to offer a choice first.
You're shutting up again.
I'll consider it.
All right.
But if I go as Evelyn Vale, not as any future Blackwood identity.
Of course.
Then I'll go.
I'll pick you up.
No black motorcade, no bodyguard display.
One car.
No bodyguard display.
Discreet is acceptable?
Acceptable.
I'll handle discreet.
You're too loud to be discreet.
That's Evelyn Vause. Adrian really brought her.
Miss Vase, welcome.
Thank you.
Vale House has made bold moves lately. It's good for young people to have ideas, but rules that are too rigid can also break.
When rules are soft, people are the ones who break.
Uncle, tonight is dinner.
I'm only concerned about future cooperation.
Future cooperation follows formal process. Tonight, I'm only a guest.
Miss Vale, I hear you also sent Blackwood's old faction into the investigation list. Aren't you afraid life will be difficult if you marry into Blackwood someday?
When did I say I was marrying into Blackwood?
If there is ever a marriage, I walk towards her. She does not get absorbed into Blackwood.
Is your young lord always this bold?
He's been holding that in for a long time.
Adrian, do you know what you're saying?
I do. I am pursuing Evelyn Vale, not asking her to change her name, and not trying to make Vale a Blackwood subsidiary. If she's willing, I want to stand beside her. She remains Vale, I remain Blackwood. No one swallows anyone.
Is that your public statement?
Yes.
You didn't tell me in advance.
You can deny it now.
No need. But next time you make a public statement, at least notify the person involved.
As ordered.
It seems Adrian's feelings are firm.
Firm is one thing. Qualified is still under observation.
That's our boss's pursuit of estimation.
Sorry about tonight.
You didn't decide for me. You only expressed yourself.
So I passed?
You passed. What's that?
A question.
Now?
Tomorrow.
Why?
I've said enough today. Tomorrow, I want to ask properly.
Fine. Tomorrow at Vale.
May I ask now?
Your timing is acceptable.
I've practiced waiting.
Apparently it worked.
Evelyn Vale, I will not ask you to become a Blackwood, and I will not make Vale a Blackwood subsidiary. I know you don't need anyone to rescue you, and you don't need anyone to decide your future for you. What I want is to share truth, risk, power, and freedom with you from now on. Not as an alliance clause, not as a family contract, just me asking you to marry me.
He really got down on one knee.
I told you the ring wouldn't be returned.
Quiet.
Adrian Blackwood, remember what you said.
I will.
People who stand beside each other don't decide each other's fate.
I won't forget.
Vale House will not merge into Blackwood.
Of course.
My name will not become an attachment to yours.
You will always be Evelyn Vale.
Then yes.
You two have a lot of free time? Open day is about to start. I was only passing by.
I'm protecting the person passing by.
Miss, everyone is waiting.
The first neutral representatives have arrived.
Hale's compensation agreement is ready to sign. Shall we go in?
Of course.
The medical fund system is online, the Children's Shelter Center is open, and the first public agreements have been filed.
The Vale Legal Archive is fully restored. Witness records have synced to the council system.
Hale's first compensation payment has arrived. Blackwood's observer application has been submitted.
Observing is allowed, interfering is not.
As ordered, Miss Vale.
20 years ago, the Vale name was hidden. 20 years later, it returns here not for revenge, but to witness. From today on, Vale House officially resumes neutral witness duties. We will not be any family's subsidiary, and we will not be anyone's blade. This place records truth, witnesses rules, and protects every person's freedom to choose their own fate.
I'm back.
Ready?
I've been ready. I once thought the Black Rose was where I belonged. Then I learned that my name, my freedom, and my future were all mine to take back. From today on, I am Evelyn Vale.
And yourself.